Questions?
Any injuries now?
Same.
Coach, you often mention Derrick White as someone that you don't want to lose track of in a game like this. What is it about his game that is the most difficult to keep count of?
Everything. He's an all-around player. I think he can score. He can play make. He has great size. He can see over people. Defensively, he's terrific. Switching, guarding multiple positions, never quits on a play, chases plays down. You just have to have great awareness as to where he is at all times.
OG wasn't on the floor for the last time you guys played. How do you anticipate him impacting the game?
Just doing the things that he does, on both ends. So offensively, running the floor, moving without the ball, shooting a three, just playing off people, attacking the rim, and then defensively, just be disruptive, do the things that you always do. His size is critical for us. I think it allows us to do more switching as well.
When OG first got here, you were talking about like how a lot of it was instinct that he was doing as he was trying to fit in, and he obviously missed a lot of time. Is it still that instinct, or is he now?
Well, it's both. You build chemistry by playing, with your teammates, and they get to know you. You get to know them, and you want to play to each other's strengths. That's part of playing smart. That's a big part of winning. And so the more like he and Jalen are developing good chemistry, and then we have to understand what he does well, and then try to play off that and take advantage of the things that he does. And I think his movement without the ball is huge. Those layups are critical, getting to the free throw line, and then the spacing that he provides, because he's a knockdown shooter.
Clinching the playoff spot, did you celebrate that at all?
Yeah, we celebrate. We just want to be aware, so it's just as you go, you just check in the boxes, so you take it one day at a time, and it's not over. You have to go through the finish line, and for some teams, the Celtics have built up a big cushion, so they're in a different category. But for the rest of us, we're all fighting for seeding and home court and that sort of thing. So that's our challenge.
Obviously, you want to win the game for all those reasons. I mean, are we past the point where playing well against these guys, given how well they played this year, is kind of measuring stick? Or is it
No, I know it's the media tends to talk about measuring sticks, and I think for us, it's to understand improvement. And then I said this when we hit the 70-game mark, that this part of the season is different. There's a different intensity level to it, and we have to understand that. And we have to continue to improve. Keep getting better. Don't be satisfied. Getting a playoff spot, you're checking a box, but the important thing is to be playing your best when you go into the playoffs. And so just lock in. Don't get distracted. Don't get sidetracked about, there's a million ways you can get sidetracked and distracted this time of the year. Don't do that. Understand what goes into winning each and every game.
That little shot that Josh has when he goes left and then he'll kind of get to around the nail and fade away at 12, 14 feet or whatever. How do you feel about that shot?
I think I think what you're referencing is mid-range, and so I think there's a place for it. I think it can be at the end of the clock. That's the open area, and so get a good shot. That's the most important thing. Obviously we want layups, we want free throws, and we want threes, but we want good threes. We don't want contested threes. So if that's the shot, that's the shot. I think we have some guys that are adept at that. Jalen's a very efficient mid-range shooter, so I don't want to take that away. But I also feel that our guys understand the value of shots, and I think that's a big part of winning.
Coach, we've heard you talk a lot about rhythm, and you mentioned the 70-game mark. So in terms of the rotation, are we just forecasting toward the postseason rotation, or is it still a little bit more matchups and tweaking that may come?
Well, it depends. Probably a little bit of both. I think understanding, okay, everyone is playing for something, so you're seeing the intensity go way up right now. And then who are they playing? Who do they have on the floor? And then you're trying to look at the combinations that will work well against them. And matchups are everything. And so we want to keep an eye on that. We want everyone playing well. There's a need, obviously, for everybody. I think throughout the course of the year, you know, we saw that with all the injuries we've had this year, minutes restrictions and everything else. Just get in there and get the job done.
They had a bunch of guys on the injury report and they're all playing. Were you guys preparing?
Yeah, I mean, I think, like I said, they're in a unique position because of the cushion they built up. You know, so now their challenge is, okay, you know, and I can't speak for Joe, but it's like, you know, rest versus rhythm, you know, but they've put themselves in a great spot. So I think that's, you know, that's what for them to decide, and we prepare for everyone just like you would. You know, when you get the injury report, you have guys listed as doubtful, questionable, probable, so you know that some guys could be out. So who's the next guy if one guy is out, and you plan accordingly.
Is there anything you guys can do to better equip yourselves to defend the stretch five?
Yeah, I think that's the challenge that everyone in the league has. You know, so I think every team now has at least 4 guys that, you know, can spread you out, and then everyone has a component where there's a 5th guy. You know, you play 5 out. So how do you cover the line? And, you know, still protecting the basket first, keeping the ball out of the paint, read the ball, flat drive, penetrating drive, move on the fly to the ball. And then you got a challenge. We know they're going to take, you know, 45, 50 threes. There's a lot of long rebounds. We're going to have to finish our defense well.
What's your process in terms of like picking out matchups? Is that your decision when you're making defensive matchups, or is that discussed in the coaches?
Yeah, you know, like you look at what's transpired in previous games. You know, what are your best matchups? I like, you know, what we have because of the versatility of Dante, Josh, and OG. So we can move matchups around, and it gives us switchability, which is, I think, important. And then you can factor in as Mitch, you know, gets his timing back. That's another guy that has great feet, and Deuce is unique in the things that he brings as well. So we can give guys different looks, and you know, I think that's important.